Hey, what's up, people? Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. I wanted to jump in nicely in time here to go over the NKE earnings. Yo. What's up, Jashmash? Good to see you, man. I've been seeing you all over the Discord and all the channels. Good to see that. Can you guys hear me well? And can you also see the screen? I know there's often problems with my screen share, but I hope it works today. I see 25 people in the chat. Welcome. Hope you had a good day. No screen, but sounds good. No screen. You guys, I'm just going to quickly disconnect and come back. I'll try again. And if that doesn't work, I will ask you to do the same thing. All right, here we are again. I hope the audio didn't get lost. I will just try to share my screen again. And if that doesn't work, you guys, just to save some time, I will put the YouTube link as well in the free live stream chat. There you will anyways be able to see the screen. No screen, says Gary. I tried again here. Good, better. This works. Sometimes it's just a matter of me having to log off for a second. Mine's working. Good to hear. Yes, thanks. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with anything anymore, you guys. No settings, no button clickings anymore. All right, here we are, right? So I had the earnings report calendar up. Obviously, we're gonna take a look at Nike and FedEx. Those are going to be the main ones. But let's maybe start with Nike itself, right? I'm on a 1 hour time frame here. We will go to the extended trading hours and see if we can get some volatility in. To be honest, you guys, I want to be bullish on the market, but with the recent events, we gotta take a step back for a second. I think Nike might very well maybe want to make its way all the way back to that low there at $69. And if it gets below that, it could get ugly. What's up, Porter? Hello, everybody in the chat. I just saw a couple of people joining and leaving. I hope my screen is still working fine. Everyone rotating into SAT. Actually, I won't start the earnings stream with taking a look at the SAT chart, but maybe at the end of the stream, we can do a little review on that as well. It's been quite a ride, right? Anyways, we're here for Nike, so let's kind of zoom in to maybe a 5-minute time frame. Anyways, this is definitely, even though price might see a good move to the upside, this is not where I would be comfortable holding Nike into earnings, to be honest with you guys and girls. For swing trading purposes, to be honest, I would be looking lower. So if price would want to make its way back to $69 or below that to 56 even, right? Those are going to be some very important levels to observe what price is going to do there. Again, I have no clue, but seeing green candlesticks here is not really incentivizing me. It looks to be like maybe they're going to want to sucker some people in and then pull a big trap anyways. We'll jump to the 5-minute time frame here because we should start seeing some volatility soon. Good evening, Nikki. Welcome. Hello. Hope everything's well with you too. I'm also live on YouTube. I see some people in there, hopefully. What's up? I will actually put a second chart on here as well, just to have a double vision about Nike and FedEx. So we got to put things into perspective here, right? A little bit. If I'm just zooming into candlesticks, then this seems like a huge green candlestick. But really, if we zoom out a little bit, we're very much still in a downtrending environment, also for Nike. And the chart on the left, let's take a look at FedEx. Let's see, on the 5-minute. Looks like we're moving here. Looks like we're moving drastically. So this is probably going to be the watch right in time. Actually, not right in time. We got the 5-minute candlestick mover already. Let's see. FedEx is something that I have never been long on in my life. I've never really touched this, not because I have anything against it, but I've never seen the need. Anyways, if this can get above 310, you guys, then I guess we're making a new all-time high, and this could become violent. Violent in the sense that we could go way higher if we get above 310 and flip that level into a support. But what a move. Let's put that on a 1 minute candlestick, even just on the 1 minute, right? What a 1 minute move, 9%. That's something. Let's read what are they saying here. FedEx Q2 adjusted EPS 405. Anyways, not really too familiar with what all that means. Let's take a look at the volatility here though, right? So maybe let's have a level at where we had this prior double top here. So it looks like we just broke above that level. Let me get right on there. That would be 286.28. So let's see. Ooh, and already just continuing. It looks like that's a very, very bullish move for FedEx. Of course, got to be very careful here at all-time highs, and that 310.77 is really main resistance, right? You can just see how price respects that white line. FedEx notorious for earnings gaps. Then you know more than me, Porter. I gotta educate myself here for a second on the weekly or even on the daily. When did we priorly also have earnings? Let's put earnings events on here. Oh, wow. So last time when FedEx had its earnings, apparently we gapped down 13%, and it looks like we're going to pull the opposite move here. That kind of reminds me of Starbucks when one earnings, it was a massive cascade and just like teleportation down, and then the next earnings they made the same move but just all the way back up. I'm going to focus here on the 1 minute time frame for a second for FedEx, because like I said, 310.77, that's main resistance here. Maybe we want to even kick it up to the 5 minute time frame, right? So at the moment, it looks to me like that prior all-time high is currently getting respected as resistance, and looks like that all-time high was made somewhere in July of this year. So whoever was long on FedEx, if this is going to hold, they're going to be laughing. And for Nike, I'm not personally interested in shorting this myself, but this is the scenario where if this squeezes up on earnings and if it kind of rejects from 78.67, that's where I would be looking to. If you are interested in taking the short leg on Nike, I would be minded short, but I would like to see this squeeze higher first. So I think 78.67 would be a main resistance for Nike. Oh my God, I can't see anything. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Maybe sometimes you gotta leave and come back for a second. CRV joking. Yeah, there you go again. There we are. So like I said, nothing to immediately get excited about for Nike. I'm also not saying we necessarily get all the way back to that resistance, because I checked this chart. I did a bit of my research before the earnings stream, and the Nike chart is not bullish, at least in the short term. So maybe this is a fake move. The FedEx chart, that looks like a way more genuine move to the upside. Let's maybe put in some volume there. Also, all right, and volume. Hey, what's up, Dick? It's been a while since I've seen you in class. All good? How are you doing, dude? Are you able to see the screen? What's up, Mr. Pookster? Jumping right in as kind of the Nike bearish thesis here, like the little arrow scenario here is coming into fruition. Like I said, you guys, move to the upside to kind of probably sucker in some people, and the move on FedEx looks way more genuinely bullish. Especially if we're gonna do something like what I'm seeing right here on the 1 minute time frame. This is key. If we're gonna flip that or that level into support, and there you go for Nike, right? What did I just tell you guys? Like lower. That's something significant. But if it holds like this, interesting. 76.32 was anyways a level, right, where we had a line where it would likely not go way higher before touching that level. If it gets below 76.32 for Nike, right, and if it flips that level into resistance, then it's a problem. I'll be looking at $69.16, and that's not only a good number, that's also very much a technical number. And it looks like FedEx, right, is very much struggling with 310.77. That's really the level of what we got to get above. And if we get above, I would suspect that this is going to want to run to probably the next round number around, or at least the next like psychological number. So at 325, that's something that I would have in there. I even think that tomorrow, again, and don't quote me, but maybe tomorrow we're going to see a move where if we flip 311 into a support, we can take a look for upside continuation to like 325 in kind of like a trending environment. And to the downside, I think I want to pay the most amount of attention to 286.28. So if I zoom out a bit, let's go back to the 4-hour here. That level is a prior resistance, right? That's basically the top from Monday. We've been coming down all week into Wednesday, and then now big breakout candle. So maybe we simply break out, and then that would be a very good level, in my opinion, to kind of look for a long position. Now, I would say look, because I wouldn't be placing any limit orders there. It could just simply ignore that level and go way lower, right? If you if you want to know about the additional confirmations, it is the coaching section that you're after, not very much just the earnings event here. But nonetheless, by all means, please take your notes, because maybe you can put these levels on your chart and already see and observe the reaction if you see price come there and do something. Maybe something similar here as to that white level here for Nike. That seems to be holding quite well for now. That's important too. Like I said, below 76, it becomes very ugly for Nike. Looks like that resistance is doing its job at 310.77. Looks like the volume is also slowing down. And we see that time and time again, right? Big move with a lot of volume that kind of smashes into resistance. And then as you're moving into resistance, the volume drops off. It's like the willingness to go higher drops off, and then you inevitably just retrace back to prior levels of resistance that can now become support. So it all seems very simple, but it's a matter of having your entry patterns very much aligned, and that is something that I can help you guys with. Not necessarily here, even though probably some of my coaching students, they understand probably what I'm looking at here, right? Anyways, you want to let this drop off now. The first move above 300 might not be the move that takes us to 325 yet. We might, and that's really the downside above seeing a big green candlestick, right? That's not necessarily the most bullish event, because big green candlesticks, they leave behind big gaps, big holes in the chart, a lot of room to basically retrace back. So it wouldn't surprise me if we blip back into at least the green box and then the orange line here for FedEx, as long as we stay below the white level. That is, actually we'll make that red for resistance at 310.77. And Hatim, I saw that you're typing in the chat, man. By all means, if you have any questions or anything, please let me know. Don't feel shy. I see on YouTube Cardinal Clay saying, I got into FedEx. Are you also in a Discord, sir? It all depends, of course, where you got into FedEx, right? If you got into FedEx earlier today, that's great. If you got into FedEx at the red line, that's a little bit less great. If you got into Nike, that's even less great. That's the quick summary. Actually, let's see on the earnings reports. Anything else? We have Nike, we have so we have FedEx, we have BlackBerry. I will take a look at BlackBerry shortly after as well, but just want to kind of observe and let price do its thing. So if Nike is going to make a squeeze up, as we talked about, that other scenario, 78.67 is a good level to look for, maybe resistance. little blip to the white level and immediate takeoff. So anybody here for Nike, right, who is basically long and who had a stop loss still resting on the low that was made on Wednesday last week, so 8 days ago. Basically, everybody in that 8-day time span who had a resting stop loss there gets stopped out on earnings, and then it might very well give a little bit of short-term relief before then eventually more down. That's what I would think. Actually, let me already kind of make my way to deck screener here real quick for a second. I can't wait, you guys. Can't fucking wait. Excuse the language, but I genuinely very excited. Let's see. Where are we at here for Sad Boy? 2.5 million market cap. My God. I remember a couple days back when that big wick there on that little red candlestick now it's little, right? But a couple days back that was our resistance, and now here we are. Like, big shout out to the team who has accomplished that. That is nuts. I have no idea where Quench got all the where Quench got all the information and the intel from that quickly, but very exciting. What's up, you guys? I saw Latvian join as well. What's up, man? Let's maybe put on a third chart here and kind of look at BlackBerry as well. Sad for life, yeah, man. I mean, you guys, please, don't put your life savings into something like this, right? It's all meme coins, and ultimately, anything can happen. And the higher the price goes, the more risky it becomes, of course, to keep buying. But by all means, to have a little bit of exposure. Oh my God. There we go for Nike. What a move. What a move all of a sudden here. Someone was speaking, just blasting through all the levels. Let's see if that is going to be a move that holds or whether that's going to be a enormous wick here and whether we're going to see a huge sell-off, because what do you sometimes then just need to get to levels below you is a huge move. But let's see. Let's go to the daily time frame for a second. Let's kind of map out this gap that we've left behind on October 2nd. Let's consider that our next resistance. It's as simple as that, right? Oh, there you go. It looks like we're immediately making our way to that gap, right? So that's the gap that was made on October 1st to October 2nd, that overnight gap from Tuesdays to Wednesday. Looks like there was basically no liquidity in the order book whatsoever. So basically nothing for sale for a huge price range. And then here we are. So I think I will want to consider that Nike is probably bullish and that I can look for higher lows only if I see that this red box becomes an orange box. And when would that red box become an orange box? That's something that would go beyond also the scope of this free live stream, but this is resistance. But the thing is, now definitely you've made a move to the point where if you could just consolidate here, that's going to be important for this big move. You don't want just only big green candlesticks. You want a good big green candlestick, and then you want to consolidate, come down a bit, and then go again. Something like this is going to be way more healthy and sustainable than if you get another 10% candlestick right after. Then the snapback is worse. That's anyways always what I would be looking for. But hey, maybe someone really spoke very positively there about the Nike results for a second. And looks like shorts really got caught offsides if they weren't applying any risk management or with short options going into earnings. That was definitely also not the idea then. What a move. Kind of even reminds me of the snowflake move when they had earnings, right? That was also a biblical move. I was kind of distracted from BlackBerry, but I guess it doesn't really matter right now, right? When we have Nike doing all of this. So let me even go just back to two charts, FedEx and Nike. That's honestly a very, very impressive move, what they're pulling here. 8% with another 0.7. This is almost a sad-like bump, you guys. Nike reports Q2 Nike brand revenue at 11.95 billion versus Visible Alpha analyst consensus of it was less than that. So they reported better than expected. That is not really a surprise seeing the candlesticks here. Nike says clear priority is to return sport to the center of everything we do. Beautiful. We love to hear it. We simply love to hear it. And they're saying that they're taking immediate action to reposition our business. Well, I'm skeptical, to be honest with you guys. I'm really skeptical because if I zoom out here, that's a little bit of the problem that we've been downtrending for a very long time, and that recently we got rejected around 89, right? But if we can get above, say, the highs that were made end of September, then yeah. The chart would, and I'm gonna just kind of loosely draw that out. You have this low, this double bottom, and then that fell out, and that became resistance. That's the level that basically needs to get reclaimed. So that's gonna be the bottom that was made in September of last year, and that basically flipped into resistance this year. So, but it is a very good start line. Everything has to start somewhere. So if it is going to reverse, this is at least a good start. Let's see if they can get something going up top here. I also want to see what kind of volume came in here. Let's see. 111,000 shares trading hands. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. We can even have a little look where most of the volume was coming in at. Looks like someone drastically smashed the market buy button at around 82, right? All kind of same numbers, and then all of a sudden here at 82, a big market buy was triggered. That's going to be an important level, you guys, to keep note of. So if you kind of look at these candlesticks, this is something that I've never really introduced in anything that I've done, including anywhere. But kind of just looking at where the volume came in primarily within this candlestick. So that's 82 point, and I can just really zoom in, right? So it's kind of a neat little feature that I've unlocked with TradingView on their Black Friday deal, right? They had very, very good deals this year, and I said to myself, well, if I'm going to get that much more for just $10 more a year or whatever it was, might as well just get it. So that's a high volume point within that 1 minute candlestick, right? So really kind of observing within that 1 minute candlestick, where did the volume, where was a large party definitely active. And on the way down here, right, if you're looking for a higher low for Nike, I think around 82.15, that's a good level to look for. And if that level flips into resistance again, I mean, then I would be looking at 78.67. So with those big green candlesticks, you run the risk, right? And everybody knows it. At some point, if you're back on the way down, that you basically retrace the whole move. So we can take a look at the reaction here at that red level. And I'll just go back to regular candlesticks, and now boom, I've basically mapped out a little interesting point within that candlestick. What's up, Mr. Bull? Good to see you here, man. What an honor. I think you like to trade Nike because that's probably one of those stocks that really fundamentally wise and with the volume and the market cap and everything, it aligns with what you need for your stocks to play complex or options, right? And your passive income strategies. I think I've heard you talk about Nike plenty of times. It's a good stock. I do agree. This is definitely a name that is not going to go anywhere. And that brand, that little, I don't even know how to draw it, you guys, on the chart, something like that. I mean, I turned 30. I was when I was young, I recognized that brand. So I guess they've been around for a very long time. I would have to check the chart. Let's actually see for a second on the monthly time frame. How long have these guys been around? Right? And I know it's a long time because I was a young kiddo. 1990, 1990s, my goodness. I was completely not even aware that it's been that long. 1981 they started trading. Nice. It seems unlikely that they're gonna go anywhere anytime soon, right? So they will have beautiful ranges to play. I think we're onto some levels here, you guys. So 82.12 is a good one to look for maybe a reaction, and then 78.67 below that. And so as we've broken above that level, we're not going to use it as resistance. It can now potentially become a support until proven differently, right? Until we get back below and then it's gone. We were definitely facing some resistance here, right? From that gap that was made on from the 1st to the 2nd of October. So that's, like I said, that's something that's main resistance. And if we can clear this, I would say 87.26, then I think we're potentially looking at a triple digit stock again. But there's some work. And what we will definitely need, you guys, is more than just 5 minutes of high volume. It's very good that we got a lot of high volume on this candlestick, right? But we're going to need more than just one huge clip to get to $100 and higher than that. So I think we're probably short term, and again, it could be wrong. I'm not saying you should act on this at all, but I'd be looking for a little bit more downside. At least if I was looking for a little bit of a scalp long play, I would maybe look from 82 back to 85 or so. Not from here. This seems a little bit. Price is likely going to want to attract back to where that lots of volume came in specifically on that candlestick. Let's see. Well, Mike says fiscal Q2 earnings revenue decline. That's, I mean, surprises me a little bit looking at the candlestick here, at least. Revenue declines, but at least probably they said something very positive, right? We were reading about that they would reposition their business immediately, put sports at the center of everything. Maybe those were a couple of positive words that triggered some algorithms. And looks like FedEx is making it back to our big green box here, right? Kind of just following along with the PAT scenario. Again, I have no idea what price is going to do in advance, but I have seen plenty of charts move. And so all I've really done here is I've marked out a pot, which it's a probable, like a possible outcome where big move into resistance. You guys, I hope you took notes. 310.77. That's your main resistance. And if you want to know what I'll be doing tomorrow, potentially looking for continuation from 310 to 325. I think that's still a respectable real scalp move, right? It's a 4% move. That's, I mean, you don't need way more than that, I would say. And even just from the perspective of simply buying and selling shares, you guys, I don't understand really sometimes what's wrong with a simple, nice 4% move. If you can compound that, do that a couple of times a week or even just a month. Anyways, that red level is definitely going to be key resistance. And let me also get to the YouTube chat again. What up, Jay? Oh, sorry, Latvian. I missed your message on YouTube at basically 20 minutes ago. Why 78.67? My friend, that level is still on that chart and still interesting, right? Let me get there. I was looking on a lower time frame when I was basically looking at the bottom of this consolidation block. So we had kind of this formation where we moved up, we held this level, kind of double top drop, and I was thinking to myself, if price squeezes back up, this is a level where we could potentially reject from. But well, we didn't, right? We just moved above it. So as we moved above it, as I was saying, this is a level which we can now use potentially as support in the case if 82 there doesn't hold. So if 82.12, if that is something that doesn't hold, you would want to immediately refer back to potentially that orange line there. But I'll put my my blue drawings off of the screen, and maybe let's have a look if price could magically come back to that white level, right? So it's all fun and games if you see big green candlestick, but then all of a sudden the volume drops off and everybody's just looking at each other and who's going to be the next one to buy, right? That's always the question. Big green candlestick, lots of volume, but if there's not another person to buy, then you're inevitably going to need to come down a little bit and find new buys. That's where I would be looking. And I like this. I very much like doing this earnings stream for you guys. So I hope you guys have something valuable, some valuable levels to take away. I hope that this perspective gives you something, and that I see you in my coaching section, in the premium section. And at the very, very least, right, if anything, something that's completely free is that you just follow along and you put these levels on your chart and you kind of see for yourself whether they would make sense to play from or not. Maybe even do some back testing. But yeah, honestly, this weekly earnings stuff, it gives me the right tickers. I always feel like I have plenty of good names. Also, I think I've heard you speak about that in your coaching, right, Bull? You need some good names to trade. For me, it's very much the same. I'm always looking for some good names and some good setups, some things. I very much prefer to trade things that I know, to be honest, right? And that is not very much the case in crypto, but at least for the equities, 9 times out of 10, I'm just simply trading names that I know. I know this company, I know this chart. Lee, for example, he's always the guy who is on the flavor of the day. He is always the outperformer of the day. I'm very much also kind of sticking to my names. I think that's something that Bull, me, and Ethan, we have that a lot in common, where our watch list is probably not going to change all too much. Whereas I think Lee has probably the biggest watch list. Anyways, it's all about having multiple approaches, right? So looks like we're approaching our white level here. A couple more 1 minute red candlesticks and we're there. Basically the same story, right? For Nike and FedEx, it's bullish. We've moved up, but now we're in short-term retracement mode, and this is not where I would expect really any great volatility anymore. Earnings is very exciting, but typically the real big move, it just happens in a minute or in like a time span of like 5 minutes, and then eventually you hit a big resistance or a big support, and you just kind of slowly retrace back the other direction. So that's no different with these two. Anyways, so kind of quick reference to SAT as well. Let's see, we're at $2.46 million market cap. And even just, again, I'm not trying to sell you guys anything. I just explained to you that please, by all means, the higher price goes, please understand that it's a meme coin, that you should, by all means, if you have material money on the line, you should make sure that you're doing what's right for your personal situation. But I'm just saying, even just now, I'm just coming here and I see that there's volume. Doesn't even matter whether it's buying, whether it's selling, whether it's a lot or whether it's a little. There's eyes on it. 46 seconds ago, a couple of minutes ago, it's actively being traded. So for a meme coin, that's very much the most important thing, is that that the volume doesn't dry up, that you actively day over day keep having market participants who are basically willing to buy and sell. That's really the name of the game. And you can even come down a lot, but as long as there's eyes on the project, it will inevitably then recover. So that's it's a whole different game, but it's still about charts as well, partly. Anyways, my main level, so just to repeat myself, my main levels, right? To just round up maybe for Nike is going to be 78.67 and 82.12, where I'm looking for reaction. And the main resistance is 87.27. So that's really, if we can clear that level and if we can flip that level into a support, I would be still way more than willing to step into the market. Porter, you know that, right? I'm not afraid to buy from higher. If I have bullish confirmation that it's probably still going higher, I see nothing wrong with waiting for some good bullish confirmations before stepping in. But let's see. Nike CEO touts immediate action. Yeah, we've seen this to please shareholders. Shares are rallying after earnings. Well, I think we've seen the rally, you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes into that bearish gap, and now we're just chilling. So I expect that it's going to be something like this until tomorrow, and that we're not really going to run anywhere too much. So I'm going to put my alerts. That's very important. When I have my alert there for Nike, especially at 78.67, and then for FedEx at 286.28, right? And I like to work with just alerts because if you always just put limit orders everywhere where you put a line, then that requires a lot of money. And if you just have alerts, then you can just come to your charts when you know that it's important. But anyways, I've done so much talking again, man. I can't even listen to myself anymore, you guys. Hope it was hope you got something out of it. I will already end the stream on YouTube. Hope it was a good one. Let's see. I sometimes wonder, are these numbers even real? Like 4,176 eyes? I doubt. I don't know because I got so little interaction in the chat that it makes me wonder. But anyways, for anybody who is new to this concept, you can find me and my colleagues here basically every weekday, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday after hours, where we cover earnings. And I believe in the description to this video on YouTube, you also get you get the links. So I'll see you guys next week.